Killing na constitution number section 68 lom ako president manyan ala palaso use la ka fen soto directly or indirectly mel ni loi mantaño and Mr. President ntako wa section ni yo violate le kadu ko you and Ahmad Ba you conspired to take from the Gambian people an asset that belongs to the government of the Gambia. That is not a layout. Mayor Nkavoko, the minister can under the State Lands Act grant leases to anybody or make allocations to anybody. That is not a layout. When mansa kunda la cordality, aboko commandant la residence be janyamin. You will do yata ko koy batala, you know, allocation. O mank allocation when boy kangleti. Nyem dulani ya Adama Baroni Ahmad Ba or whoever the minister was iboita Gambian call kanne ya Gambian call yala fengta an islamanta ila sembekero yole you semba me yalon ka of an abuse of power, and that is not the type of government you people who want to have to be in charge of the affairs of this country. President Yemenke is in fact in contravention of the constitution. A manyana lola wadula Chief Justice Officer Residence Lom. Masakunda Kendo. May alam kavko senda wala masakunda be mensi kalgola. Wala wadla to abe warli nyame be bunkende lo la jeto Chief Justice ye na karadola na bunkende lo jefana President of the Gambia Court of Appeal ye. So da nyi George Ba fulo melan kavko iteleme na kito nyatling la masakunda la keno masakunda la fang may alam kavko weltamo ye sabati jeto. But yana yes sembo use. Yes, more use, abuse your powers, abuse your authority, and misappropriate or appropriate the land to yourself, and you call that an allocation. I think to say that allocation is in fact a wrong use of the word. Allocation in relation to land janto is always for layouts, approved layouts. The eligibility criteria may yalong kafoko. Wala be under Regulation 6 of the second schedule in the state land. I want to cover ko fem fe yalum cover mu Gambia dingti an approved layout in Nyantale yedula sorti jeto baratata ko natarete mari cordal be bulle goto approved layout it a fence la jeto man kuna manya fa alloke la jeto adama baroka ko da jole zota ay men ko way ko da woro wala so wo manyan hanata layout olom a manya so la jeto sa ko la me yalla ka fa manke layout abakalo ko Cape State House number 2 ni president ko tan sita janto na be naritala ay have combatum fa nga janta nga develop nga ke retirement ko ni nyole kata janto sunyaro nada ka ko fenne mi kaci kano bari saba ko bankon ya tapale yale Adama Barrow ni Ahmad Ba or the minister me yal ka ndako ya tapale yale, and I want them to prove me wrong. In the first place, I want to see the application, but you have to apply for allocation of land in an approved layout. I want to see the application that was made, and I say that there was no application made there. Al kanabulo ko ni nade ndanga banketa isital dorong ibakara kay ko mawdo ayi palaso ko tako sa dawda ko dimi faale de ayole fa aka mawdo do na problem mi okay wala keda ta ko la me sa do la ko dala fana lafto wala ta the problem. So that is Savoko, former president Sarawala Karabala Koda South Atlantic, former president Adama Barrow Fana Koda South Atlantic, but we Gambians are not going to have it. I ask every Gambian to rise up and say that this appropriation of property, of government asset, has to be rescinded and let the property revert back to the government of the Gambia. Adama Barrow, my advice to you is stop any development on that land, because that is in your own interest. Because if you continue with any development on that land, government must set me alkafko ya panbad yata yake tate nyung faling katajanto, you may lose it, because already you have been warned. Kavoko, this should not go on, and I advise you, and I advise the minister, Kavoko, for your not that you have any moral conscience, If you have any moral rectitude, these are things that should not happen. You shouldn't even allow them to happen. Anala chafarto ya be. Anala chafarto ya be. Anala lifeng banko la nyawonya. Nene mama government asset ayata. Kamka ayata kaka. Anala manke. Anala chafarto ya be. And those were type of wrongs. How can you come in as a government that should rectify wrongdoing? You come and perpetuate wrongdoing. Doing things are quite contrary to the Lands Act, are quite contrary to the Constitution of the Gambia. And you expect Gambians to really look away and not say anything about it. We'll say something, we are urging you, we are asking you to stop any development on that land, because you are developing land that belongs to the government of the Gambia. This is not an approved layout. This is an asset of the government, and converting it, in fact, it's just like committing an economic crime. It's just like committing an economic crime. You know? And I believe that anyone involved in that can rightly be charged for that. Because they are explaining away a wrong deal. Yes, Mr. President. You are going to school. I was not a politician. I was not holding a political position. I did not hold any office. I can influence the Minister for Lands to allocate the land to me. I'm just a civil servant, just like all other civil servants. And I can name 2 or 3 of them lawyers: Antuman Gay, Fafam Bay, Wallace Grant. All lawyers, we had our properties there. And there are other civil servants, they all had allocations there. And that is an approved layout. And certainly, because we, according to the eligibility criteria, we deserve it. Mr. President, your minister wants to mislead the Gambian people. And I'm disappointed that Mr. 𝒂𝒊𝒏 did not do his research properly before he came out with that wishy-washy press release. Yes, there's allocation to Fatoumata Fenda Dabo, Ndimma. There's allocation to her, and I think they call it Bijilo Mini Layout. That allocation was made in 2023, or at least the lease was signed in 2023. And the lease took effect in 19th May 2019. So our date of application was May 2019. What influence did I have? So that now daughter's application is also known. My wife, Mae, had allocation, and that was in 2022, years after I had left government. So to tell people that he was foreign minister, I was vice president, was just to mislead people. They misused their official positions. I never used my position as a minister to gain anything for any of my relatives or for myself. I've never done it because I thought morally, if legally it was not wrong, I think morally it was wrong. So I've never done it. Now, Mr. 𝒂𝒊𝒏, Mr. President, go back and come back with an explanation why you have to steal our land and give it to Adama Barrow. I think that is what you have to explain to the Gambian people, not this kind of comical press statements that you produce. You know. Yeah. Yeah.